Good morning. And a warm welcome to each of you. All Souls Unitarian Universalist is a liberal religious congregation that nurtures lifelong spiritual development. We covenant to create a welcoming, caring, justice-seeking community within and beyond these walls. My name is Barbara Montrose, and I am your liturgist for this morning's worship service and the emergency response team lead at the New London Homeless Hospitality Center, also known as HHC. I am joined by two other staff members at HHC, Reverend David Horst, and the Outreach and Engagement Manager, and Jose Colon, Outreach Worker. We are glad to lead worship this morning alongside Perry, also known as my husband, Director of Faith Formation, and Gary on the piano. Additionally, we have Adam working tech, and much appreciation for all of our greeters and ushers online and here in Unity Hall. And to Tammy, our office administrator, for her beautiful slides. Our pastoral caregiver today is Carol Thompson. Carol, please wave your hand. There, hi, Carol. If you are in need of pastoral care, Carol is available to lend a kind ear during or after service. If you are new to All Souls and want to know more about our faith community, please stop by the welcome table, and someone will be happy to greet you and answer your questions. Isn't it good to be together again? Amen. Before we begin our service, we have a few announcements and opportunities for connection to share. So Nora's going to help with those.
After the service, please visit Kate Griffin, the Intensive Services Team Lead, at the HHC table in the community room to find out more about their services and programs. Also today, after service, please help us break down the chairs in Unity Hall for the Make Your Own craft fair, being held on December 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are still searching, looking day after day for volunteers for the craft fair. Please see or contact Gretchen Edstrom. It's time to order your poinsettias. The deadline to order is December 15th. Find the order form at the welcome table in the newsletter and on our website, because we're famous. Elder Journey Holiday Gathering is December 11th. Please RSVP by December 1st to office@allsouls.net or call the office. More details are in the weekly newsletter. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday is New Member Sunday. Please reach out to Reverend Verdes or Peggy Sheehan Flood if you would like to sign the membership book and become a member, or if you have any questions about membership. For more announcements of opportunities for connection during the week, please see the printed order of service and in our weekly e-newsletter. As we begin our worship service, let us take a collective breath together. Welcome to All Souls, where all souls are welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, souls. It is good to be with you again. On this final Sunday of worship in November, we continue to explore ways to cultivate relationships with each other, with our friends and neighbors, and those who live in the margins of our community here in New London and beyond. My friend and colleague Jose Colon shares his inspiring story, his inspiring journey from a gang member in Hartford to a homeless outreach worker here in New London, and how he has changed his life, and how relationships with others then and now have changed his life. So let us gather for worship and song, for inspiration and prayer, for comfort and challenge. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing our opening hymn, Love Will Guide Us.
We are always excited to be together again in this wonderful community, to honor our connection and to share the love that we hold for one another. Let us enter into our passing of the peace ritual. We will begin by waving to the folks in the online pews. We are glad you are joining us from your various devices. If you are with us online for the first time, please let us know in the chat so we can give you a special welcome. Wherever you are, we feel your virtual presence. And if you are visiting for the first time in Unity Hall, please wave if you're not too shy. Hi. Hi, welcome. Let us all wave back. You are most welcome here. Good to have you. Now, here in Unity Hall, we are going to try something a little new as we enter into the cold and flu season. Please briefly greet those just around you. Spread the love, not the germs today. You may also feel free to stay in your seat and watch it all happen around you. And you can send the love and peace out from the comfort of your spot where you're at. Okay. Now let's turn to our neighbors, bump elbows, and share the joy of being together.
You didn't even need the bowl this morning. That's really unusual. It's a nice, calm energy. You know? It's excited but calm. We begin with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the Nahantic, Mohegan, Mashantucket Pequot, and Eastern Pequot people as the traditional caretakers of the land on which we worship. We honor and pay respect to these tribes, their ancestors, and their lineage who today uphold traditional practices, art, and education. Along those lines, next Saturday, December 6th, from 10 to 4 at the Pequot Museum, the Mashantucket Pequots are hosting the Winter Moon Living Exhibition, an immersive celebration of living indigenous traditions featuring the powerful voices and resonant rhythms of 4 indigenous Northeastern drum groups. Experience living culture as each drum group brings its own unique songs, languages, and practices woven together in a shared celebration of indigenous identity, resilience, and joy. And now I'd like to invite Victoria and Bridget up to light the chalice.
As Victoria and Bridget come forward to light our chalice this morning, let us say our chalice lighting words together. We light this chalice, extending the warmth and love of this congregation to our homeless neighbors near and far. In this season of generosity and caring, we pray for their safety and well-being, and we give thanks for all those good citizens who extend a kind word and a helping hand to those so desperately in need. Today we recognize the first Sunday of Advent celebrated by Christians here and around the world. It is a time of anticipation, a time anticipating the return of the light of the world. And so we light our first Advent candle. Let us also today light our candle of peace. We light this candle to feed the flame of peace growing and glowing within our hearts, not in spite of the violence we witness here and around the world, but because of it, we light the candle of peace. We affirm again that peace and compassion and love are the way, the only way, to keep us and this world alive.
This morning's story is about a person experiencing homelessness, but especially about the relationship that develops with a couple of other people in the story. And so we're going to pay attention to the relationships because that's what today is all about.
There was a lady who slept in a box down on our street in front of the Circle Deli. She must have liked the Circle Deli because of the warm air from the basement that came through the grate. The warm air kept her from freezing.
I never saw her in the morning. My sister Lizzie didn't either. The lady probably folded up her box and put it somewhere safe till nighttime. We could have kept it for her in our house, but Lizzie and I aren't supposed to talk to strangers, so we didn't offer.
She looked like a kind, nice lady. I smiled at her.
The lady in the box looked hungry. It was Lizzie's idea to bring her food. I reminded Lizzie that we can't talk to strangers. Lizzie said we wouldn't talk to her. We just put some crackers and peanut butter next to her box.
The next day, the peanut butter jar was empty. There were a couple of cans of soup in our kitchen cabinet. We heated up the soup and ran down the stairs fast to get it to her before it got cold.
Then we ran home before Mama could tell we were up to something again. Mama says we're always up to something.
The store windows were all Christmassy. It got dark early and the nights were very cold. The lady in the box didn't have warm enough clothes.
We looked in our closets. On Lizzie's shelf was a big, warm scarf. We left it outside the lady's box.
Later, we saw the scarf wrapped around her neck.
She called after us.
Thanks. By the way, my name is Dory.
My name is Lizzie. My brother is Ben, and you're welcome.
Now that we know her name, she's not exactly a stranger, I said to Lizzie.
The next day, it was freezing cold. The owner of the Circle Deli came out of his store and shouted at Dory.
Get away from here. I don't want you sitting in front of my store anymore. People are complaining.
Dory had to move. She set up her box in front of an empty store down the street, but no warm air came up from the basement there.
We have to do something or she'll freeze to death.
We could bring her some of our blankets.
That's dumb. Mama would find out for sure. It's not easy to fool Mama.
Sure, if when we got home, Mama wanted to know why the cans of soup were missing. Why was the scarf gone? She asked us what we were up to. So we told Mama about Dory and how we gave her the food and how she had to move her box away from the Circle Deli and was freezing cold.
Mama didn't get mad and yell at us. Instead, she sighed and said,
Okay, let's see your lady in the box.
The three of us went downstairs and around the corner.
Mama knocked on the box. Dory opened the top flap and sat up. Mama has this amazing way of making people talk to her. Dory told us about losing her job and not being able to pay her rent. She said she tried to stay in a shelter for homeless women, but someone there stole her bag of clothes while she was sleeping. After that, she slept in a box on the street.
Mama got that look on her face. It was her, I'm going to do something about it look. Mama marched to the Circle Deli. When she saw the owner, she said that Christmas was coming soon and that it was freezing cold outside. And she used words like human kindness and simple charity. And Telly said,
Okay, she can stay. Jeez.
We told Dory she could move her box back to the Circle Deli where it was warm. She smiled a big smile. When Saturday came, Mama asked us if we wanted to help in the neighborhood soup kitchen. People get free lunches there, she said.
The line to get in was long. I felt sad that there were so many people needing free soup.
I was so busy doing my job that I almost didn't hear my name being called. I looked up to see Dory in line. She smiled at me and said quietly,
Hello, Ben.
Hi, Dory, I said, smiling back.
The helper next to me asked, Who's your friend? Friend? Nobody ever called Dory my friend before. It sounded nice. Maybe someday, I thought, Dory wouldn't have to live in her box. Maybe she could get a job and a place of her own.
She'd have a key, just like I have a key to our apartment. I reached into my pocket and took out my lucky key ring. I gave my new friend Dory the key ring with the 4-leaf clover. Maybe it would bring her luck. Maybe someday she could use it for her very own key. And thus ends the story.
All Souls is a beloved community, and one of the ways that create and sustain this community is to bear witness to each other's lives, both our joys and our sorrows, through a candle lighting ritual, creating a circle of love and care. Those souls joining us at home in the online pews may write in the YouTube chat what you would like to have shared here in Unity Hall. A reminder to please refrain from responding to each other there until the ritual is complete, to make it easier for Perry to read them here. And those of you with us in person, you are invited to come forward to light a candle of intention as you are so moved. Those of you at the front of the line, please light candles at the far end of the row to enable the line to flow. The circle is open. Your joys and sorrows are welcome here.
We begin with the Book of Joys and Sorrows. And this morning, Catherine Foley shares that she is grieving and celebrating the life of my lay ministry. One second. All right, for this one I need the glasses.
Mentor.
Of my lay ministry mentor, political teacher, and beloved friend, Aunt Peg Curtin. She was so ready and is at peace in the arms of her beloved. Our thoughts are with you, Catherine. I'm not sure who this is. Whoever Tinster Love 1 is, says, remembering Barb Yates going up each Sunday to light a candle. Please, somebody there in body, light one for Barb. Thanks. Oh, it's Martha, her sister.
I got you, Martha.
Yeah, thanks, Maria. Yeah, Martha and family were here, of course, for Barb's memorial service that was held recently. And Maureen Gallagher is remembering also Barb Yates and warmed that Martha is there in the chat with us virtually. Tracy and Jeff, our family reunited in the love and joy of my niece's wedding last weekend. Glorious. Peter Cooper shares that his joy is learning from his new dog, her rhythms and love as she learns about this senior community. And there's nothing better than having a dog in a senior community, right? Carol Irwin says, gratitude for all the souls who prepared and served the meal at the meal center yesterday. It was the 5th Saturday of the month, so thank you to all the volunteers there.
Let us join together now in a moment of prayer and meditation. God of love and compassion, may the joys shared this morning be magnified and the sorrows be eased, because we hold them in our hearts as one. We pray especially today for our neighbors burdened with extreme poverty and living their days and nights without a place to call home. May they receive the help they need and the hope that they so desperately desire. We offer our blessings to all those in this community who reach out and help out, offer a kind word, extend a warm hand, share a bite to eat, provide a warm coat, and so much more. And to those who serve members of the homeless community every day, we wish you strength and resolve to continue to provide love and care, even in the face of frustration and, all too often, heartbreak. And a prayer for our legislators in Connecticut and Washington elected to serve all the people. May you show the political will and the moral courage to support our impoverished and homeless citizens here and around the nation with adequate funding and evidence-based policies that can truly change lives. Let us remember, we can all do something. As we prepare to hear the story of one whose life has changed, let us pause for a moment of silence to breathe and to listen to the inner voice and to be at peace. Amen. May all be well. May all be at peace. My colleague, my friend, Jose Colon, let's talk. Good to be with you, Jose.
Nice to be here. I'd like to thank you guys, especially also as I come and bring homeless people to shower here. I'd like to thank my special team. Learn nothing but love from these people. And I thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank my lovely wife, Tiffany Divine Colon, for being here with me, supporting me.
Jose, I want to ask you if you would tell us a little bit about your childhood, your birth in Hartford, your family's return to Puerto Rico, and your years there, and your return to U.S. when you were a young teenager.
Okay. Well, I was born in Hartford, Connecticut, in Hartford Hospital. And at the age of 5, my parents returned back to Puerto Rico. Aguas Buenas, Puerto Rico, good waters. And there, I was able to experience beautiful a childhood. It was every month, every season, we had something to do. The kids played together. But what I remember most was like there was, at the time in Puerto Rico, there was no homelessness. Everybody had open doors. So if there was a stranger that came in our little neighborhood, he'll eat in every house and stayed in every house. It was beautiful just growing up as a child there. At the age of 12, my parents ran out of money, working the land and stuff, and we returned back to Hartford, Connecticut. It was a dramatic change for me. It was a big city, you know, I'm a teenager. The surroundings, I was the only one that came from my family first. I have a brother, a younger brother than me. I just remember the dramatic change, you know, 12 years old. I remember gangs being around.
Yeah, you've told me when you returned to Hartford, you became involved in gangs and joined a gang. What was the name of the gang you were a part of?
The Solidos, solid ones from Hartford, Connecticut.
So your life took a change. Can you tell us about that?
It did. I think, you know, for my growing up, I always, you know, I felt like I had to fit in somewhere. It was more like survival. I remember the first day or second day or first week of school that my sneakers got taken, you know what I mean? And after that, I had to just be more cautious of where I was at. Friends of mine were already involved in gangs, and it was the thing to be with the city, in the major cities, you know. They got all the cars, they got all the girls, and, you know, stuff like that.
So there were some benefits of being a member of the gang?
Well, it was kind of like the love that, you know, at the time, my parents kind of broke up, so the structure wasn't really there. And I was kind of finding love in the streets with my friends.
Yeah, so you had did you have some good relationships with some of your members? And were they like a family to you?
Yeah, they were like a family. You know, I can't deny that. I still, to this day, they're my family, you know what I mean? To this day, I have friends in prison that are doing life sentences, and they reach out to me, and you know, we talk and stuff like that. Of course, on a positive level now. And I still keep in touch with a few of my friends, very few.
Yeah, but there were some downsides to being a part of the gang. You, by your late teens and early 20s, I think, you and some of your gang members were arrested, charged, and convicted, and ultimately incarcerated in a federal penitentiary under the RICO statute, Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act.
Correct. RICO racketeering is a charge when a group of people get together and not necessarily everybody is guilty, but if you're part of an organization, you're going to get minimum mandatory is 10 years, 15 years in prison. At the time when I was a gang member, wow, you know, I was into shootouts maybe 5 times a month, you know, with rival gangs, territory. We had to control our areas. Did a few bad things that now I understand, you know, what I had to go through, because I know where I'm at now, you know, the love that my parents implanted in me and the religion. You know, I grew up with the Bible and Bible studies and all that good stuff, and then turning back out here, and it was scary. You know, I got shot twice, close range. You know, almost lost my life a few times.
So for a young man being sent to prison, 15 years?
15 years, yeah.
It's federal penitentiary?
Federal. It was a little scary. It was a little scary, but there I became a man, you know. I cried out to God every day. I cried out to God. I was alone, you know, all my family. I actually, when they were like, we got 135 months, and I was, I'll take that. I was thinking it was weeks or something. When I get back to my cell, I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot of time. How did you spend your time? I spent my time, I educated myself, I worked out, you know, I had a routine. I obtained my GED in there. I got college course, I took college credits in there. I worked out. I studied religion. I studied Israelite, Catholic, Muslim, Christianity. I got involved, and I was just looking for answers and stuff like that. And when you were released, unfortunately, not too long after, things took a downturn for you again. Yes, and then I was released, and I came home, and I got married. I was working as a carpenter for like 8 years, 9 years. After that, got involved in, got involved with dealing drugs again. I remember a friend of mine kept coming up to me and offering me, here, take this. Well, you know, we used to do this or we used to do that, take that. And I was like, no, I'm good. I just came home. 2006, I saved my money, I bought a car, got married, I was working in the union, I was doing pretty well for myself. But this friend of mine just kept coming by and offering me to sell drugs. And one day he threw it at me, I caught it, committed right there. And that's when my life really turned out for the bottom, you know. I became a drug addict, you know. While I was preparing the drugs and stuff like that, heroin, you know, I became a drug addict, full-blown drug addict. I just shooting up through my veins and stuff like that. I lost everything. I lost my wife. I walked out of a little girl. I was 5 years old. Just couldn't, you know, now I can understand, you know, the addiction just took control. I couldn't do anything to stop that, only to just pray. And then, sadly, you were incarcerated again in state prison for a few years. Possession of a firearm, yeah. Oh. Now, when I was back in the streets as a drug addict, you know, went back into violence, and it was pretty scary for me, you know. I felt like I could do anything, I could take anything from anybody, it was all about me. I felt in some kind of sense, God forgive me, I felt like I was God myself. At one point, I had so much anger and evilness, it was just unbelievable, you know, to notice that a person that could do that. You know, I know that I wasn't born to do all that stuff, but for some reason I did. And your time in state prison, that was a transformational time for you? That was another awakening, another time where God saved my life once again, over and over and over again. This time was different. This time, this guy that was a high gang member, high rank, respected in the streets of Hartford, and now he became a dope fiend or a drug addict. And the shame and the guilt, from the wife, from my family, they were like, oh. And for myself, I had to move forward. So I decided I write everything down. That's how God went. In the federal prison state time, so I was like, I'm gonna move away from Hartford, close to the water, and meet a young lady, get married, and start my life all over.
So you came, after your release, you came to New London. What was the reason to coming, besides the water?
Well, the water has a lot to do with it, but just to get away from people, places, and things. I already established, I felt like Hartford was like quicksand for me. It just kept trying to take me under, and for some reason, I came up surviving out of there. So I decided just to start all over, no friends, no family, no support at all.
So when you came to New Hartford, I think you did some training at OIC, and then eventually found a position at Homeless Hospitality Center as a shelter worker. Is that right?
Correct. When I came home, I think it was 2013, 14. I was at a sober house in Route 32, and I used to remember, found a job, walking to work, catching the bus, and while I was working at the Long Shot Sports Bar, I took a training here at OIC at the same time. So I kind of stayed occupied. I knew what to do as far as to stay out of trouble. Stayed occupied, didn't meet no friends. Met her. And OIC, and then OIC, I did that training, and then I worked at the restaurants for a while. Then I ended up getting hurt, and Dick's Bagels, and I remember going to a workshop in school in Route 32, and I sat down and I seen Coca-Cola, I seen a few companies, and I seen a Homeless Hospitality Center. So what is that all about? And I went straight over there. And they were like, oh, I said, what is this? They were like, oh, this is a shelter and this and that. Well, give me your life stories. And I gave them my life story, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk to you later on.
And you started work with us as a shelter worker, and then soon thereafter got involved in doing homeless outreach. Is that?
Correct. So then, I started working. I took a down pay as a chef. I was at 22. And $16 an hour. No, what I got $16. I said, is there any opportunity in this job? And I remember, and Barbara was like, oh yeah, there is. Okay, because I knew, I like to work, I like to stay busy. Working at the shelter was, to me, still everything. I feel like still my first day. I look forward to going to work. But there I was able to see the people, to see myself all over again, and no judgmental, nothing. This is who I am. This is, there is a turning point. These people will turn their lives around. So I was able to search people and talk to them, say hi, how you doing, and just to hear stories. And from there, I think 6 months later, they offered me an outreach job. And I was like, I remember, I said, oh man, do I have to do computer work and stuff like that? And they were like, don't worry, we'll get to that. And anyway, so I took the job, and as an outreach worker, as a shelter worker, I met churches that come bring food, people that's just so much hospitality, so much people showing love. This community in New London is unheard of to me. And I think that's what made an impact in my life. There are so much good people.
What Jose brings to Homeless Hospitality is what we politely call a lived experience. Quite an experience you've had. And how do you use that to relate to the folks that we serve, either guests at the shelter or people you meet on the street?
I find it simple. I find it, I greet myself, I tell them where I come from. I remember my second day working, and they were like, "What are you gonna do? You can't do. You're not gonna do nothing for me." I said, "What do you mean? You don't know where it is to be." I said, "Yeah, I've been in your shoes before. I did this, I did that, I did all kinds of drug, crime, and this and that. And I'm here. Just I'll listen." So basically, I just give them my life story, and I communicate with them. Just I always hear them out. Most of these people are alone. They're just alone. People shame on them. Like they shame. At one point, and I tell them that it's possible to change. And that's how I get to hearing their story and them hearing my story. It's easy to me. We're just link up. I've been in their shoes before, so and I tell them that it's possible.
It is possible. It is possible to change, and you exemplify that in your life and the work that you're doing now. And I know all of the staff at Homeless Hospitality Center appreciate you, appreciate what you do, what you bring, your eagerness to learn, and certainly be a valued member of the team. So, and I think your life inspires so many, inspires us all. So we thank you.
Yeah.
Any final words before we wrap up?
Well, I'd like to thank. I would have not made this if it wasn't for the opportunity that they gave me at the shelter. They believed in me, so that's what really matters. So what I take, to everybody is always believe in people. You know what I mean? Don't blame the individual. Blame what's in the individual. If I was being capable to do all these bad things, look at me now, and all I do is just help people, and it just feels good. A little bit of love will go a long way.
A little bit of love. Thank you, Jose. Thank you. That's good. So appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you both to David and Jose for all they give. Each week, one way we express appreciation for this faith community is through giving. We are grateful for your generosity. Now, to prepare us for the offering, we say these words together. We give to the work of all souls. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we dedicate ourselves and this, our offering. The offering will be given and gratefully received.
all you have given and all you have sacrificed, the offering is gratefully received. Let us stand once more and sing together, "Come and Go With Me." Please remain standing as we now extinguish the chalice, this symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, and we say these words together. Our worship has ended. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenge of the week. The chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. To those present here in Unity Hall and those present at home, let us, in the days ahead, reach out to our neighbors, especially to those in need, and make this holiday season one of generosity and goodwill for all. We go forth now in love of neighbor, love of God, and love of life. I invite you to be seated as we enjoy the postlude by Gary.
Thank you, Gary. It did feel like home. Our service has ended. Please join us for coffee hour, and Kate Griffith, our intensive services lead and social work extraordinaire from HHC, will be at the back table to answer questions, and you can find out more about our program. We'll see you next Sunday for New Member Sunday. All right?
Please help break down the...
Oh, yes. Break down.
In your baskets, if you would take them out from under the baskets and push them to the end, we'll collect them, and then we're going to break down the chairs in preparation for crafts.
All right.